is for warwear.com.
Today, we started reconstruction of Saviours series last week, and today we're going to be looking at what do you believe, right? Because I think from last week, I mentioned, that our belief is really where the issues are. Now, I'll take our creed again. So if you're there, you can just read with me. We say we belong to a tribe of saviors and are trustworthy. Whatever goes out of us must pass the test of worship unto God. We influence our world with superior lifestyle and solutions everywhere we go. And we take responsibility for what happens in us and around us. We are loved, and heaven is what you experience when you encounter us. We are saviors, and we innovate solutions for our world. Okay, so that's our DNA to say that, we take responsibility for whatever happened in us and around us. And if we are going to offer anything henceforth, it must be something that we can offer to God, because that's the genesis of mediocrity. That a lot of people sing a lot, they do all kinds of gymnastics in the name of religion, but their work ethic is very, very poor. I mean, when you look at, and we talked about it last week, that a Thomas Edison in Africa, they would have told, even in the religious circle, they would have told him that's not the will of God. You have failed 9,999 times. Don't do it again. Go and look for something else. But the guy persisted because he could see the solution. Now, last week, we looked at the 4 quadrants and we asked us to do, to break this down. Now, if you were around last week and you have done your work on this, can you type yes in the comment box? If you were able to do what we asked you to do last week, can you type yes? I want to see how many of us were able to do it, because we kept saying here, we don't want people to just be listening and do nothing. We need you to listen and interact with what we're sharing and make sure that you answer all the questions we're asking. I can only see 2 people so far. Does that mean only 2 of us? Okay, I can see 3 now. Where are the others who were here last week? Because a time will come, if you don't do what we ask us to do, you will not be able to enter our meetings. We really want this meeting to be about saviors. People are really, really interested in doing something. Now, if you missed last week, the recording is available, so please go and listen to it, because after about 10 meetings here, anyone who is joining, we have to go and listen to everything we have done, because I don't want people to join and then they come with another perspective or something that will take us back to what we have handled. Okay, so thank you very much for all of you who have done it. Now, Randy Gage said, the next time your core beliefs are challenged, try being curious instead of furious. I was listening to a video on Socrates yesterday, and he was talking about the concept of right and wrong, good and bad. And so he painted the scenario that, I'm going to paint the scenario that what exactly is a lie, what exactly is good, whatever is bad, right? Or what exactly is it that is good and what exactly is it that is bad. So he cited an example, of if somebody told a lie, right? And the person he was talking to said, oh, that's bad. You don't tell a lie, right? He said, are you sure? He said, yes. Then, so I'm going to put in my own words. So everybody knows that lie is bad. Telling a lie is bad. We always say, speak the truth and let the devil be ashamed. But let's assume thieves came into your house and they began to shoot. And you and your wife and your children, you managed to escape into the ceiling. And the thieves came into your house and they began to shout, we know you are here. Come down. Come down. We know you are here. You remember that you are a religious person. You must not lie. Speak the truth and let the devil be ashamed. Question, will you come out from the ceiling to present yourself to the thieves to say, I am here? Of course, I am sure none of us will do that. Now, so at that point, but you knew that you were telling a lie at that point, right? Okay, so lies become truth to you because he will say, what looks like lie will save your life. So oftentimes as human beings, we live in two dimensions of right, wrong, and that's the realm of religion oftentimes, where you're being scripted that whatever contradicts, what doesn't align with your non-truth becomes wrong. So, for example, the Ofonime was sharing with us, our great-grandfather-in-law had something, anointment that healed the sick. But people will look at that and say, no, it's by the power of the devil. They will begin to invent some demons that doesn't exist, witches they don't know, to say it's by one power. You better don't interface with it. You better don't touch it. And we begin to invent funny things. I think as Africans, we are tale bearers. We tell a lot of stories that doesn't even make sense, right? And you wonder, and it's not because we don't have solutions, it's because the people who are creating solutions that is not compatible with our known truth, we try to kill them. So I always like to paint a scenario. Imagine you know a guy who, heals the sick. Let's say he makes the people who are blind, he makes their eyes open. But how he does it is, the guy comes, every time people go to him and they are blind, the guy mixes saliva with sand and he plasters it on their face. Then he drags them to a river and he bets them there, and their eyes becomes open. If you knew that guy, what will you call him? What power will you say he's using? Of course, you will say it's the power of the devil. But that was exactly what Jesus did in the Bible. And I didn't see anybody say, oh, it's the power of the devil, is da. So sometimes I even think we confuse ourselves because we are afraid of our truth. We are afraid to live at a particular level. And that's why I love the quote that says, to him that believes, all things are possible. See, whatever you believe will be possible to you. If you believe you are small, it's possible to you. If you believe some other people have captured the world, they are going to kill all of us, so it's correct. You're correct because it's your belief. I can't help with your belief, but let me help you understand this. Your belief is what will liberate you, and your belief is what will sabotage you. So here are a couple of fundamentals I want you to understand today as I begin to share, what is most critical, because in the 4 quadrants, your beliefs becomes the most important side that if you don't align it, it would sabotage you. Number 1, your beliefs are convictions you have held to be true, not necessarily the truth. They are a feeling of certainty about a thing. Many of the beliefs you have right now as you are listening to me, they may not even be the truth. They were things you have held to be true. When your parents gave birth to you, you could not have determined the religion you were born into. You couldn't have determined the home you were born into. As they gave birth to you, they did not consult you before giving you a name. They gave you a name that reflected their reality. So if you were from a Christian home, automatically you became a Christian. If you were from Muslim home, automatically you became a Muslim. Now, and so you realize that many of the things they begin to teach you, they don't even know the truth themselves. They were things they were taught. So consistently, people plug their life into what has not delivered their result, and they defend it even when it doesn't make sense. So you see a guy, I saw a video from Nigeria of some guys in Islamic houses or school beating a girl, because the girl went to a party or something like that. And I saw the parents of the girl defending the beating. That will never happen in some countries because they'll shut down the school. That was gross abuse. Now, the guys that were beating that girl, I am almost sure that they cannot pass SSC. They can't pass any reasonable exam, because if they can pass exam, they won't. If you ask them to sit down now and write exam, they can't. If you check their life, they are worse than that girl, but they have hidden their own under religion. So people, and if you check their brain, it's what they have been made to believe, that they are serving the cause of God. So they are inflicting pain. I love the way Olabi said it. What they did to that girl, Onyibo man will not do it to even a dog, right? But see what they have done to that girl, right? And the girl also came out to grant an interview to say it was the will of God for her to be beaten and things like that. So your beliefs are the convictions you have held to be true, not necessarily the truth. And that's why when you leave your geographical area and go to another area, you begin to see other things that begins to challenge your concept of truth. I have had to change a whole lot of beliefs over time, because every time I see something new, I always bow to superior intelligence. Once I see something that looks to be producing results, I go after it. Your beliefs determine how you see the world and the quality of life you live. Trust me, there is no religion in me anymore. I deal with people based on their humanity and love. That's the way I relate. So I will not get into the argument of things I knew nothing about. When religion was formed, I was not born. I cannot be defending what I didn't know about, what I was not there when it was formed. What I can, however, defend is the power I have to say that Olabi looks like me. He has two noses, he has one mouth, he has two hands. What can I do to support him? What can he do to support me? That is a bigger spirituality for me than to be defending a position I don't understand. Because if you put people together, different religion, and you throw a bomb into their midst, the bomb will kill everyone, right? It will kill everyone. And so if there is a religion that bombs does not kill, maybe that's the superior religion, but you won't find it. If there's a religion where cancer does not happen, maybe that's the superior religion. But everyone makes a lot of noise when reality consistently stares in the face to see that something is fundamentally wrong. And we are unwilling to change it. So we create songs. We create songs and even say that God cannot be questioned when God says, come, let us reason together. So when somebody dies, instead of us to find out what killed him so that it doesn't kill other people, we just say it's the will of God and we move on till the next person dies. Your belief determines how you see the world. So if you are living a life that is low, it's all in your belief. If you change the belief today and you say you want to live a better life, it will change. I used to have a belief, this same me. I used to have a belief that ladies who wore trousers were going to hell. And I taught it passionately. And these days I look back and I'm wondering, what was I smoking when I was teaching those things, when I was defending it, right? I used to have a belief that, I don't need to travel abroad. When the whites need me, they will come and look for me. As long as I held that belief, I did not enter an airplane. Until I changed that belief, then I went to the embassy. They bounced me because they said I didn't have enough money in my account. That went on for 3 times before they eventually granted me visa. So your belief is sabotaging. Your belief can either empower or sabotage you because it can make you say no to what you truly want because it didn't come in the form you expected. So a lot of people pray, but when the answers show up, they can't recognize it because it doesn't come in the format they are expecting. So they believe God for something, even when they say they pray, and they now see someone else who doesn't pray as much as they do, producing amazing. I mean, when you look at Elon Musk, you are asking yourself, you can't convince me that it's the power of the devil, or Bill Gates, that's the power of the devil, right? If that is what the devil can produce, and what we say God can produce is just prayer meeting and prayer gathering and many of the gymnastics we do, then we are by ourselves admitted that the power of the devil is superior to the power of God. So maybe we need to begin to check ourselves. Maybe we are the ones who are actually operating by the power of the devil, and they are the ones operating by the power of God, because all their innovations are what we are using. Their innovations are the things we depend on. What's his name? Mark Zuckerberg's product went down for 6 hours, and it was almost as if the world stood still. Imagine if YouTube goes out. Imagine if Zoom goes out on strike. Imagine if all the innovation and the inventors decide to say, these people don't give us credit enough. We're going to withdraw our innovation. Many of us will not be able to reach each other. We will not be able to talk. So sometimes when we talk, you ask yourself, do we think about what we're saying? Now, your belief is the greatest prison anyone can be in, especially when they are limiting, and so powerful that sometimes it never responds to pain, yet the greatest freedom that anyone can experience. If I teach these things publicly now, right, in a public forum, a lot of people will throw stones at me almost immediately. Their lives has not moved better. They have not become better. Many of them are broke, but they have an opinion over what has not produced results for them, yet they don't have the capacity to change it. Sometimes we've been told that pain can make people change, but I've realized that sometimes pain may not make people change because people will create narrative around that pain and say it's the pain God wants them to go through so that they can make heaven, right? And that's the narrative. So that keeps people bound, unknown to them. It is their belief. If you change that belief that this is not the will of God for me to experience this pain, you will change your life, you will change your result, and you'll be happy with the life you are living. Many people are not happy with their lives, but they are pretending. Unfortunately, the people teaching them, right, don't have solutions, but they have not admitted that they don't have solutions. So what is happening is the blind leads the blind consistently, even when the people teaching them are doing something behind that is producing results. But what is producing the result is not being taught publicly, right? The people will still follow. Eventually, when the person is exposed to show that this person has some other secrets, has some secret businesses, or has some secret accounts that nobody knows, people will still defend it, because that's the way religion is framed. It shuts down your frontal cortex, that you begin to operate with the mindset that is at the realm of animals, which is flight and fight, and is a realm that cannot think. So your belief can imprison you, and your beliefs can liberate you. I'm going to share a couple of examples with you that I think will help you, and I'll give you your own place for today. The greatest carriers of truth are often the greatest carriers of error. Therefore, it becomes easy to embrace a disempowering belief because someone said so. You know, before I left Nigeria, I realized that, I realized that truth is not truth. Truth is dependent on who says it. So here is what happens. Everybody seems to have an idol. When their idol is in error, they defend him. But when other people's idol is in error, they kill that one, right? Until they now expose their own idol, but they still defend him. So you realize that we respect people above principles that work. Many of the people we praise and worship in Africa have no global relevance. And that is the truth. That if they step into the US, nobody's standing still. Presidents are not coming to welcome anybody, right? The parliament is not aware. Nobody is aware except the Nigerian community or the African community. But if Bill Gates decide to come to every African country today, that the president will stand still. The question is, how come our own people are not known? How come their own people are known? These are the questions we need to begin to answer. That is saying something to us. And it's something you might want to check, that at the realm of the globe has no respect for any solution that cannot deliver perpetually. The globe has no respect for any solution that doesn't have a scientific basis, that doesn't have a flow chart, that doesn't have principles that govern its delivery. That's the way the world works. You must be able to explain it. So if you say you can open the blind, you must show a principle. And if we bring 100 blind people, you must open their eyes immediately, right? Let's even say you can't open 100. If you can open 40 out of 100 perpetually, then your theory becomes acceptable as a solution. But if what you can do, what you say your solution can do, is one blind man being open in 10 years, out of 1 million blind people, it cannot be, it's not admissible as a template that can solve the problem, because then we'll need to queue. That is why paracetamol that can cure headache may be powerful than many, many things that people do. So you need to understand and begin to audit your life that truth must never be dependent on who said it. It must be dependent on its ability to deliver on promise consistently. So if you have been taught anything in the last 5 years and you have been promised, if you do this and do this, it will produce this result, and it has not produced the result, then you need to begin to question it. So something happened last year in Nigeria. There was a guy who wore a masquerade, and he wore it inside a church, and it became a major issue on social media. And people began to say, why would they allow masquerade to enter church? That is bad. That's bringing juju inside church. And I began to laugh. So, and you know me, I'm a specialist at asking stupid questions. So I went on social media and I asked, I said, I cannot see a demon. I can only see a guy who also came to church, but was dressed differently, was gorgeously dressed. Now, that's what I can see. And you cannot question me for seeing what I can see, because that's my belief. This guy is one of us. He just wore a different attire. You are the one interpreting it as demonic activity. The guy just wore a cloth. Now, they began to say, no, that praise. No, you are condemning evil, condoning evil. Okay, so I now said, but you guys said, at the name of Jesus, every knee must bow. True or true? They said true. So this devil came to the church and they mentioned the name of Jesus all through the service. And this guy did not fall down. This guy joined to dance. And he danced during Thanksgiving. That is, he did not fall down, is the clearest indicator that the owner of that name knows that this is one of my sons. He only dressed differently. And yet they still did not get it. So the following day, what I did was to put 3 pictures on social media. One picture of that masquerade, another picture of Halloween costume, and a third picture of a musician called Lagbaja in Nigeria wearing his mask. And I asked people, what is the difference between all of this? And you realize that the three pictures gave them different emotion. One was demonic. Who called that guy demonic? What is in their brain? What they've been made to believe. And that belief, if you take it deeper, it came at the point the whites brought religion to Africa, right? But the same uniform is what they wear as Halloween, and it's not demonic. The same uniform is what Lagbaja used to play his music, and it's not demonic. So you realize that we confuse ourselves because we are not even thinking consistent. Our thinking is not consistent with what we are saying. So we say one thing and we do one other thing. So I said to them, well, I can't help you. If you think the guy is a juju and jazz, it's fine. But for me, this guy is just gorgeously dressed and he has gone to church to worship. So look at these two images. All of us went to school. Now, I want you to answer in the chat box. What is the color of that canvas that you can see, right? You have two people there, right? That canvas, that plain canvas, what color is it? Can you type your response in the chat box? What color is it? I'm waiting for you. What color is that? The plain there, what color is it? White, white, white. Good. Now look at the other guy. What color is this guy? Can you answer the question? The man, what color is he? Somebody saying white too. Somebody saying pink. Okay. Now, if you had written this man as white in exam, you know you would have failed. You would have failed because they will mark you wrong because they said this is white. But this man, we all call him white man. How can we believe, convince ourselves with all our learnings and our school that this man is white and this color is white when they are not the same? That is what conditioning does, and that's how beliefs work. Beliefs can make you, beliefs doesn't have to be true. You can convince yourself about anything. The same way you convince yourself that this man is white is the same way you can convince yourself that you are the greatest in your sector. If you convince yourself long enough and you work hard at it, the result will begin to manifest in your life, right? If you convince yourself that the whole world needs you, you will manifest the solution that the whole world needs, and you begin to bring in information that can deliver that, and you are consistent about it. It's only a matter of time. Let me shock you. Once your beliefs contradicts general belief, the first thing that will happen is they will criticize you. People will shout about you. They will bully you. They will call you names. But if you refuse to be bullied and persist with what you know, it's only a matter of time. They will begin to come secretly initially. After a while, they begin to endorse you because your result is showing that what you believe is working. So your belief is what you have made it to be. You are free to uninstall your mind and believe anything. And then it's interesting that in the Bible, Jesus says, I and my Father, we are one. And they pick up stones to kill him. He did not ask them not to call God his paddy. So if you say God and I are one, this is the way many of us believe. We say God is there, I am here. So I cannot be like God. Right? You are correct if that's your belief. But someone else says, God is not there, God is here. I am God when I show up. Is also correct. The only thing is, you will be producing results as a servant. He will be producing results as God. And I think that's the height many of these guys have gotten to, that they are producing results compatible with God's DNA. So the same way you have been deceived that this guy is white is the same way you can trick your mind, because your mind has no eyes. Your mind can be tricked. So if you trick your mind consistently by calling yourself what you want to be, by scripting your life, acting like it, feeling like it, it's only a matter of time, because it's the simple law of attraction. You'll begin to attract that level of solution to your life. Why is God white? Why is the devil black? Where did we get that from? We were scripted to believe that. Why do you look up when we mention heaven and down when we mention hell? Where is heaven? We don't know. Is heaven up? We don't know, because if you go up, you will enter firmament, right? And I don't know where you're going to get to, maybe out of space, right? Where is up? Where is down? If we say the earth is spherical, right, which means the earth is rotating, right? So up can be here, up can be here. So if you say lift your hand up and you put your hand down, people will look at you and say you are stupid. But the earth is rotating. So how can there be absolute up? But that's the way many of us have had to live, because you have been scripted to believe what you have not troubleshot. What I'm teaching you today is to begin to question everything, question your life, question your belief, and ask yourself, does this belief align with where I want to go? Does it align with the life I want to live? That's why if you open my brain, there is no demon in my brain at all. I have uninstalled that because I no longer live at that realm, because I asked myself a question, have I seen any in my lifetime? No. Have I attended any meeting of demons? No. Do I know what they look like? No. So how can I be afraid and occupy my brain with what I don't know, what I've never seen, what nobody has seen, and I believe that is real? I don't. Maybe they exist. Yes, they exist the same way lion exists in the jungle. But lion is killing someone in the jungle cannot threaten me because I'm not in the jungle. So people believe it. It is a choice. Now, there are 4 levels of beliefs gateways. We call them the 4 levels of knowledge. These are the ways many of you have received knowledge. The first level of knowledge is modeling and observation. Many of the things you knew, you learned them by observing people. Now, that level was imposed, right? You saw your father, you saw your mother, they behave in a particular way, and you embrace their behavior, right? Is the first level. That's the level many people are. 80% of the people on this planet, that's the level they are. There's a second level, which is the acquired knowledge. At that level, it is through teaching and education. So that is where you go to school to learn how to balance books as an accountant. You learn to do how to do surgery as a doctor. So you move from observation to the next level. Now, at the first level, if the person in front of you is someone who has a record of success, you may become successful. Because by observing him, you will just lead his life and become successful. That's apprenticeship. But second level is education, depending on who is scripting the education. That's why in school you take what is called subject. Have you ever thought of the meaning of subject? Subject has 3-fold meaning. The meaning of subject is to subject you to become a subject of what you are subjected to. So if I want you to be a mumu, I can create a subject and call it prosperity, right? But I will script it that by the time you have gone through that course, you will become stupid, but you will think you are going to be prosperous, and you're not going to be prosperous because I am the owner of the subject. The goal is to subject you, to become subjected, to become a slave to what I'm teaching you. Now, that is acquired knowledge. Unfortunately, many people are paying heavily to go and be attending courses that cannot deliver their life. Now, all of you are attending courses. It's just that depending on, some of them are informal, some of them are formal. You pay heavily to go and sit and learn what can have no relevance to your life, right? I sat somewhere and someone was teaching on something, 10 steps to discover the devil. I don't need to discover the devil. I want to discover bliss. I want to discover billions. I don't want to discover the devil. So to sit down there and pay to attend that course is a waste of my life, because the best attempt to attend the devil, to understand the devil, you will still understand the devil. The devil is wild. He has wiles. He's wise. The guy is crafty. So I don't need to understand the devil. Level 3 is where everybody in this meeting needs to be, which is a level of meditation. At the level of meditation, you are questioning everything. And the more you question, the more things are revealed to you. Because he that asks, we always receive. If you can question your life, why am I like this? Why am I not making $1 million? Why am I not a friend to Bill Gates? Why am I not a friend? Dario is here. I think I heard about Jonas Sharaf from him for the first time. I began to follow him, began to comment. Today, when I tweet at him, he sends me messages back, right? Because I keep asking, why can't I be his friend? He's older, but why can't I be his friend? You can become a friend to anyone, right? You only need to believe. If you think of yourself as small, we are the masses, you will be a mass transit person. If you see yourself as I am huge, it doesn't matter the amount in your bank account, your feeling, your aura. People will call it arrogance. No, it's just that you know who you are. So at the level of revelation, you are meditating. You are questioning yourself within you. You are sitting still. You are looking at things and you are questioning. Why can't it be done? Why can't it be done? The level 4. If you stretch level 3, level 4 is invasion. That is epiphany. At the level 4, you will know things that you were not taught. They will ask you questions and answers will come to you because you have stretched yourself and you become united with divinity. At that level, humanity matches with divinity. and answers come to you directly without being told, without studying it anywhere. I understand the 4 levels, and all of you can be at those 4 levels. So look at all these solutions. Nigeria, Benin City, they created what was regarded as one of the wonders of the world by the world of Benin. Benin City used to be one of the most organized cities in the world. That was before Christianity and Islam. They were the first city to have street lights in the world. Before London, before Berlin, the wall in Benin was bigger than the wall in China, right? Question, what level of knowledge or beliefs did they have in ancient Benin City before the British came and destroyed it? What was their belief? What kind of leaders did they have? So if anybody is telling you Africa does not have technology, it's a lie. In fact, they said when the Portuguese came to Benin and they saw the mathematical equation they used to construct the wall, they thought it was archaic, only to discover later that it was a mathematical equation they had not yet discovered. So it is not what you don't have that limits you, it's what you have but you don't know how to use. By what beliefs was the wall of Benin constructed in 1425, before Christianity and Islam hit Nigeria? By what beliefs did a tiny island called Britain colonize the rest of the world? Britain is a small island. Colonized India, that is maybe like 100 times their size. Colonized Nigeria, that is like 50 times their size. By what power? By what beliefs? It's called audacity. You cannot be a savior without being audacious. You need audacity. By what beliefs is Elon Musk intending to go to Mars? How can a man? Bible says heaven and the earth, and this guy is saying he wants to go and colonize Mars. How? How is it doing it? What goes on in his mind? You are still thinking you are still not conquered how to feed, how to pay house rent, how to buy a house. A guy is saying I want to go and own Mars. He's already selling it. People are buying it. Now the rich people are saying they want to do car racing, around space. Yet we can listen and say, oh, this guy is launch of Belefu. But why can't we operate at their level? We can. The only difference is that we don't believe we can. The day we believe we can, and we do not settle for mediocrity, and we pull out of events and meetings where mediocrity is taught that is not aligning with where you want to go, your life will change. By what beliefs do Jews invade the country and prosper there? The Jews come to your country, they set up their space. In fact, I live in Brampton, right? You will hardly find Jews here. You find the Indians own Brampton in Canada. But if you go to some eyebrow areas, the cleanest and the neatest areas, you see the Jews and the Chinese. If you go to New York, the Jews own New York. By what power are they able to do this? Beliefs. Now, I am going to share the Jewish template, and I'll give you as an assignment. You are going to take a snapshot of this, then maybe you go and fill it from home. But by the next meeting, make sure that you have completed. This is in your interest because these are flow charts that you need to understand. So this is the Jewish template. Many of us in Nigeria quote it. We do not understand the code behind it. I had a meeting and I was with a Jewish rabbi in Long Island, and we're having a conversation. And he said to me, Praise, we understand the code. You guys are just quoting Bible that you don't understand. And I said, what do you mean? He said, because it was first written in language you don't understand. And even in the process of translating it to English, some things have changed. It's just like when you mention Jesus. Nobody knows Jesus in Israel. It's known as Yeshua, right? English changed that name to Jesus. That's another story for another day. But let us focus on what we talk about. So the guy asked me, wherever the soles of your feet shall tread upon, you shall have it as a possession. He said, activate that code. I removed my shoe and I said, I possess the land. He said, what land? I said, New York. He said, have you possessed? I said, no. He said, why? I said, because I don't have C of O. Then the guy said to me that if you are quoting something and it's not operating in your life, it is your interpretation and your beliefs about what you're quoting that is wrong. And he said to me, do you know this thing has nothing to do with shoes? So he began to break it down to me, and I'm going to be sharing with you. Let me shock you. You see, a friend bought a house, right, from a 26-year-old girl who is a Jewish girl. And my wife was trying to find out, how can a 26-year-old girl have a house that is selling to someone older and old enough to be his father? And we found out that the Jews invest for their grandchildren. So if you're a grandfather, as a Jewish person, you take life insurance for your grandchild. That's how these guys prosper. So that when the child is born, grandchild is born, by the time he's 18, he's already wealthy. A good man leaves inheritance for his children. Many of our parents are living debts. So you can see they built models. So what does that place say? And you can apply it if you believe it, right? One, wherever the skills are placed in your hands, which is process talent. So there are questions there. So I'll first quote it, then I'll break it down. Wherever the skills are placed in your hand shall find expression in its desired sector, and you deploy it with consistent wisdom, that it becomes indispensable to that country, the nation will answer to you. This is a flow chart for taking over any nation, any sector, any industry. If you understand this, trust me, your life will change in 1 year. Promise, guarantee. All you need to do is follow what I'm sharing with you. Answer the questions. When we come next week, you are going to go into your groups and you are going to be sharing your answers, and they're going to be questioning you in your group. So we will have a lot more time for questioning next week. Please don't miss the meeting. Ensure you do this. Now, number one flow chart. Wherever the skills are placed in your hand, here are the question you need to answer. What is my talent, or what is my superpower? Everybody here has superpower. For some of us, it's intellectual property. For some of you, it is thinking. For some of you, it is music. For some of you, it is play. Now, what is your superpower? Number two, how do I make it into skills? Now, the process of making it into skill is like killing yourself. You need to die, which means you will need to gym, create gymming session, create template systems. When the way you wake up will change. I mean, it's becoming cold in Canada. I still go out every day to jog, to work out at 4:30 a.m. It's my way of life. I'm not going to change it because I need to keep my body alive, right? Others can afford to sleep. I'm not going to sleep because I need this body to carry me for a longer time. How do I make it into a skill? You need to answer that question. What course or certification do I need? You need to ask around. Then what level of sweat and mentoring do I need? These are the questions you need to answer. So it's not a quote. We just quote it and we say it's not. It can't work for you. That's why you have been quoting it. It's not working. Because the work behind the quote, we are not doing it. It's like when we take a child for child education in Nigeria, where we copied it from. They had a 14-year curriculum for parenting that we did not copy. We just copied the prayer. Just by praying, the child become great. So it's dedicated to the Lord. He may become armed robber if you don't put in the work. Level 2 shall find expression in the desired sector. What sector is my solution needed? That helps you not to run around. What sector is it needed? I know my sector and I've stayed there, right? Who is the king of that sector at the moment? You answer that question, a name must show up there. How do I serve the king to be trusted or endorsed? Or what can I learn from him from afar? So if you spot the king, you don't have access to him, go on YouTube. Every interview is granted. Every book he has written, everything he has written, make sure you consume it. I have done that and I know this works, right? If you do it consistently, a time will come, your path will cross. Dr. Miles Monroe, I never met him when I started reading his book. I read every book. When Arthur Trousers was buying his book, at some point in time, we got close. He became my adopted father, and it gave me access to come and meet him in Bahamas. That's how this works. So that is flowchart 2. Now you can see that this thing is not a corporate anointing. You must do it for yourself. Number 3, and you deploy it with wisdom consistently. So when you have found your superpower, you know the sector, you know what you need to do, then how do I enter that sector and how do I deploy it? So question number 1, what should be my entry strategy? Now this can work in any sector. What should be my entry strategy? Should I start with freemium or premium? It's advisable that you start with freemium. So I took my solution to Ajegunle. For 7 years, I was perfecting the model, running a pilot. And some of the products of that pilot are in this meeting. They are doing extremely well, right? Number 2, what wisdom do I need to apply? Strategy with zero emotion. What is my strategy, right? Is this serpent and the dove template, which means you are sent out as sheep among wolves. How do you survive when you are a sheep among wolves? When the favorite meal of wolf is sheep, you need to disguise. Now, people will call that hypocrisy or lie. No, it depends on this right strategy for your industry. Nigeria, for example, we realized that we couldn't do any deal if you don't settle people. So in my organization, we created a policy that says 20% finder's fee. And we gave everybody finder's fee for giving us business so that we don't call it bribe, but we made it a policy because Nigeria is not Israel. Nigeria is Sodom. That's the way it is. You need to understand the rules of engagement. right? If you keep saying, I will not do anything, I will not do anything, trust me, a lot of people are saying, I will not do anything. On the back end, they are doing some of these things, right? You just need to ensure that it's done within the ambit of what is acceptable. Now, what wisdom do I need to apply? What is the strategy? This is where you need to work. It's not just going to come to you like that. You need to work and simulate like 4 layers of strategy. Someday we'll begin to teach you that. Then, what is the language of that sector? Every language has a sector. You cannot take your religious language there. They are going to shut you down. You need to understand the language of every sector. Then lastly, does the door open from within or without? There are doors in the sector that opens from inside. If it's opening from inside, then you need to know someone inside. If it's opening from outside, then you need audacity and signal. That is why many testimonies people share in religious houses is incomplete testimonies. The process to the testimony is not taught. It's not shared. Someone will just come. I was believing God. 18 years later, God gave me 3 plays. He did not say he treated for IVF, right? But people will just get into frenzy. Nobody's asking how. How is more important than what? And number 4, that it becomes indispensable to that sector. What is the most critical need of that sector? You need to answer that question. Now, what I'm giving you, trust me, guys, for you to do this successfully, you need about 8 hours. So you better break your week into maybe 2 hours per day and say, I'll take 1 on Monday, 2. Don't rush it. You can form groups within this group, right? And look for people who look like you or you want to be like, or if you want us to form you into groups, you need to do this to be Savior. See, Africans must understand how systems work. Everything they have told you to quote, to chant, has not worked. We need to do it as a group. It can't be done alone. You can't do solo. You need your people to collaborate with you to do this. So what is the most critical need of that sector? What technology do I need to scale this? There's a technology that is available to scale this, maybe AI. How do I make it accessible and indispensable? And what narrative do I push? You can push narrative that you are the number 1 in the world, right? Push that narrative consistently, but you need to match talk with action. Guess what? If you do 1, 2, 3, 4, number 5 will naturally answer. If you found a cure to cancer, number 5 will answer to you. If you found a cure, I learned that people are overdosing in the US now. I want to go and create that solution. If I found that solution for them, number 5 will naturally answer, which is result. Result is what many of us waste our time praying about. The action that will produce the result, we don't know. So we just think that it will just happen anyhow. It doesn't happen anyhow. It happens by intentionality. So you can see what you have been quoting. You can see what it is. So guys, go home and do this, right? I believe you can do it. You've seen it and you're going to do it. Now, so you have heard it say, he that believes in me, the works I do, he shall do, and greater works he shall do. That's what many people quote. What it is actually is, whosoever believes what I believe and is about to think my thoughts and is able to think my thoughts and take my actions, the result I produce shall replicate and greater result will it produce, right? That if you can believe anybody that you know is successful, if you can believe what they believe, if you can think what they think, if you can take the actions that they take, trust me, you will produce their result and you will produce greater version. It's a universal law. Anybody who follows this will produce its material equivalent in their life. So this week, right, guys, list the core areas of your life or work that is presently not working the way you want it. Before you go into the flow chart I shared with you, this is where you start from. What are the areas of your life not working? Number 2, why do you think they are not working? If you want a group to do it together, let them think with you so that you don't deceive yourself. Number 3, list out your beliefs about these areas. Where did you get the beliefs from? What is the origin of the belief? And seek to know, why has it not served me? They've told me, if you pray in like this result will happen. You are prayed, it does not happen. Maybe that's not what he's saying. Maybe what he's saying is, if you act like me, you will produce this result. If you do things the way I do things, you produce this result, right? Number 4, are they truly your beliefs or what we were conditioned to believe? Because many of us, we were just conditioned to believe it is not our belief. They imposed it on you. Number 5, are there people you can see who seem to have results in these areas? Number 6, what beliefs do they have and what skills have they developed? And number 7, what beliefs must you change to become the savior of your sector? These are the 7 questions you must answer. Then you go to designing your life. These meetings are critical. That's why, trust me, I can easily charge $10,000 for this stretch of meetings, but we've made it free for you, and that's why it's not open out there, so that only serious-minded people can attend the meeting, because we know they will do something with it. We're out to raise saviors and groom saviors, and we know that you have what it takes to become one of them. Mahatma Gandhi said, and that's where I'm going to end, your beliefs becomes your thoughts become your words become your action becomes your habits become your value, and your values become your destiny. I'll see you next week, guys. The recording of this meeting will be made available to you. It will be sent to your inbox by tomorrow or next tomorrow. Listen over and over again. It may have challenged your thoughts. Make sure you change things, shake things up. It's your life and you can change it.
I am praise for warware.com.